Hello, friends, and welcome back to Pages and Pens slash Juliez the author. We're here for another Unhaul revisit to determine whether or not I regret getting rid of any of these books, or had I had the shelf space, if I would have kept them. Do I need to repurchase them? How do I feel about things? We are finally getting into more current books, which really excites me. This one is from September 7th of 2018, just a couple days shy of my birthday, and apparently decided it was time to get rid of some books. I have no idea how many. I have no idea which books. I'm going to watch it again with you live. And I think it's 13 minutes and 21 seconds long. So, however many books I could get rid of in that amount of time, we're going to go ahead and share the screen and just react together. I'll let you know my thoughts. Past Julie really remembered these books. Current Julie, not so much. So whatever reasoning I gave, I'm going to go ahead and say was pretty valid because I really can't remember anything about them, which further proves I made the right decision because they definitely didn't stick with me. Let's see how this goes. That's a freeze frame. Let's see. Also, these make me miss my purple hair, but it's fine.
Hi everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I am here with a book unhaul for you. It's been a hot minute since I did one of these. I went back and watched the one that took place in April. I think that all of these are new. I'm not 100%, so if there's a repeat from my last ones, I apologize. I still have a giant box of books in my bedroom, and I'm low-key considering doing a Depop or doing like a Facebook thread where I just sell books through like my buddy
I never
group.
do.
I don't know what I want to do. Yeah, if you're interested in any of these, I guess let me know if you would be interested in me doing some kind of a Depop. I would have to just take the time to like photograph everything, but I have a lot of books, and I just feel like when I take them back to the half-price books, I'm not getting anything back for them. I could use the money as opposed to just donating at the library, which is also fine, and I will do that too. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Anyway, we're going to start in. I have, I think, 25 books today to get rid of. I really just need to get this stuff out. Some of it has already gone into like boxes that I know I want to get rid of. Others have, I think, 25 books today to get rid of. I really just need to get this stuff out. Some of it has already gone into like boxes that I know I want to get rid of. Other things I just pulled from my shelf last night because it was really, really late and my brain wouldn't shut off and I'd had a really, really hard day. And I was like, I'm going to start purging shit. So that's what I did. First up, we have The Captive Prince by C.S. Pacat, which you guys know I read in the beginning part of August. Really did.
All right. First of all, poor baby Julie. Why were the books from April's Unhaul still there in September? But I used to do that. I used to just throw them into a corner and not take them anywhere. And I love that I asked if you wanted a Depop shop. That was never going to happen. Never did happen. Pango has happened. There are some books up on there. And I do put things that I get rid of now on Pango, but they make it a lot easier than any other platform ever has. Kind of hurts my heart a little bit that I hear myself in both of these videos saying that they were late night purges and they were results of having just bad days and needing to feel in control of something. And that's how I used to operate a lot, is when I had really tough days, I would not feel in control of very many things. And I would decide this is one thing I can control. And I would just unhaul books. It hurts my heart to hear it. But again, most of these were good decisions. This book is case in point. Good decision. I regret nothing.
Didn't enjoy. And I said, I'm still going to read the other books. I own the other books, but I know I'm never going to reread this one. I decided to go ahead and take book 2 and book 3 and just get rid of them. I've heard people say they get better. That's great. Fantastic. Very happy for the author and the book series. I don't care. I just don't. The first book did nothing to make me want to read the continuing books. Book 2 is Prince's Gambit and then King's Rising. I don't care. And this takes up like a decent amount of space on my shelf for a series that I don't think I need to read. So I'm going to get rid of them. I did check for some of these to see if they're available on Hoopla or the library app, because some of these I haven't read yet. Not all of them were, but I really wasn't that butthurt about it. Like, I did think about them. So I looked on Hoopla, looked on the library apps. I looked on Goodreads for the ratings and just to see if any of my friends had read them. Like, I researched. I didn't just like get rid of stuff willy-nilly, but I don't need to finish this. I'm not going to keep it. So they're going to go. So that's 3. Then I also have another book series part. Like, I think this is a trilogy. Ordered these from Book Outlet. They're not the same size. They're not the same editions. It is Half Bad and Wild Half by Sally Green. I think this is like a witchy book. I don't think I care. These were in one of my very first hauls.
Why would I have said Half Bad and then Wild Half instead of Half Wild? I never read them. I don't regret getting rid of those. I don't think I ever really heard anything about them. Like, maybe heard a couple people talk about them, and then I've never heard about them since. I don't ever see them still referenced. Like, they're just not on my radar. So, the 5 books so far, all incredibly great life choices, and I'm fine with all of that.
And I still haven't read them. And nothing about me is compelling me to read them. And anytime I talk to somebody about them, they're like, meh, you really don't have to. And I also don't have the 3rd one. And I just don't feel like spending money on books right now. So kind of like if I don't have the full set, I'm just getting rid of them. I don't know. Is that weird? Is it rash? I feel like they were like probably a couple bucks on Book Outlet, and I don't need them. Then I'm getting rid of an entire trilogy. I'm getting rid of the Snow Like Ashes trilogy by Sarah Rosh, who I respect the heck out of as a woman and as an author, but I don't think her writing is for me, at least for this series. I listened to the first one in audiobook, and I really didn't like it. I didn't connect with the characters. I didn't connect with the plot. Nothing about it really intrigued me all that much. And I had gone on at some point, these aren't Book Outlets. Like, I paid full price for Ice Like Fire and Frost Like Night. Like, I have the entire trilogy.
Yeah. I don't regret these. I think if anything, I regret buying them before I knew if I was going to like them or not. And yeah, unfortunately, not the book series for me. And I think I said I listened to the first book on audiobook, but I don't think I even finished it. I would be very surprised if I'd actually finished it. It was just not a writing style, not a world, not characters that I actually cared for. So this was a great life choice. I'm fine with this.
In hardback, this takes up a significant amount of space on my shelves, and I'm not going to read them. I believe they're on Hoopla. I believe they're on the library app. If I really, really need to, I can see them there. But I think I might just watch somebody's spoilery video and figure out what happened. But even still, like, I'm not.
No, I do not at any point. I still have no idea how that one ends. And that's okay. There have been more recent releases from her that I've been interested in. What is it? The latest one is like Night of the Witch or something, which looks like it could be entertaining, but I don't think I'm gonna ever read from her, which is fine. I follow her still on social media. I still enjoy her, but no thanks.
Still thinking about this one and what is going on with the characters, so I don't really care if I read these ones or not. So that whole series is going to go. They're gorgeous. They've never been read because I read the first one in audiobook. They've literally never been read. Song of the Beast by Carol Berg, which was one of my drunk book hauls, and I tried, guys. I really did. I still have a bookmark in here. I guess I should take that out. I got to chapter 8, which was page 70, and still had my wood bookmark in there. I would have been really pissed if that was in there still. I didn't like it.
Oh, the drunk book haul. I don't know that I own a single book that I bought in that drunk book haul anymore. I'm pretty sure I got rid of every single one of them. And I don't regret that one. I did try to read it. It was never going to happen. And I love that I'm like, oh no, my wood bookmark. I got rid of every single one of them. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I own any of them. So yeah, that was an okay decision.
I really couldn't get into it. I don't want to read it. So that's going to go. Then I'm getting rid of Milk and Honey by Ruby Carr, which I didn't like it. I just don't think this is my.
Yeah, you've already said that, Julie, because you unhauled it in April, a solid 5 months ago. So
my style of poetry. So this is going to go. I originally had some tabs in here for like 1 or 2 that I found interesting, but in general, not my thing. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Morgan Matson, Since You've Been Gone, which I read this summer, and I didn't hate it, but I'm never going to reread it. I don't particularly like Morgan Matson's writing, so I'm not going to collect all of her works or anything. So this is just going to go because I don't need it to stay on my shelves. I'm getting rid of Unleashed by Christopher Rice. This is a
the werewolf. Yeah, Morgan Matson is always going to go. Casey West is always going to go. They're not authors that I connected with. This, I want to say, is new adult werewolves. I'm going to tell you in a second. I don't know if it was a book outlet, but it was not a wise choice. The purchase was not wise. The unhauling, very wise.
A where paranormal book. It's an urban fantasy. And I got a little bit of the ways in, and there was slurs and just super sexist things and slut shaming and fat shaming and girl on girl hate. And I think that was in like the first 20 pages, and I'm never going to read this. So that's going to go. I'm getting rid of Marie Lou's Legend because it's the only one I have. I think I got it on Book Outlet really affordably. Oh no, I didn't. I got it at Half Price Books for $4.95, which is more than I probably should have spent on it. I was like, I'm totally going to read it because I read her Young Elite series and I really liked it. Here's the thing. I don't own the other ones. They're on like every library app. This first book has been sitting there for so long, and I don't feel compelled at all to read this series. I think that there's so much coming out that is newer that to go back and read like a back catalog of an author's work is just not something that I'm interested in. I feel like the time for discussing this and my thoughts on it is well past over.
The fact that I still cared at all about the up-to-dateness of the books I was reading in terms of discussing them on booktube, ridiculous. I mean, I'm so glad that that's not a thing anymore. There's no part of me that's like, oh, I missed out. Had I not cared more, like had I cared less about reading very like up-to-date new releases to discuss on booktube, I wish I would have read that. That's not how I feel. So this is okay.
And I'm not that intrigued by it that I feel like I have to go and read it. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm also getting rid of The Boy Most Likely To because I tried reading this for a try chapter, or I just tried reading this and it was ridiculous. I believe it was my try chapter TBR jar, and I'll just link that up above and you can go check that out because it was horrendous. It's a 17-year-old rich boy who's, I just can't. I don't want to. Plus, this, I believe, is the sequel or the companion novel to another book, and I don't know the characters. I just don't care. I don't care, and I'm not going to read it. I'm also going to get rid of Tiny Pretty Things by Sona Chaparata. Jesus Christ. This is by Danielle Clayton and Sana Charapotra. And I've seen a couple people try to read it since then, and I just don't think I'm ever going to. This is one that, like, if you guys really tell me I need to keep it, it'll probably still be here. Let me know, but otherwise it's going to go.
No, those were wise choices. I'm never going to be a girl who cares about ballet novels or dance novels. It's not going to be my thing. This one, beautiful book, beautiful cover. People were talking about it. They were loving this book. I do not regret getting rid of it. I genuinely don't think that it's one I would have enjoyed. So far, we're still looking good.
Also getting rid of A Rebel of the Sands by Alan Hamilton. It's been on my shelf for so long that it's ridiculous. I've never read it. I've never felt compelled to. Again, it's like an Arabian Nights. I don't know if it's like a retelling. It feels very much to me like along the same lines of Walk the Earth a Stranger, where it's like a historical fantasy, historical fiction. I don't freaking like books like that. I don't like historical books. I just don't. And I got this because everybody was like, it's great. You're going to love it. And everybody does. I don't think I do. I'm not going to read it. I'm just never going to read it. Then we're going to get rid of a couple books that I have read that I just don't need. I'm going to get rid of The Only Thing Worse Than Me Is You by Lily Anderson because I didn't particularly like it. I read this book. I liked it enough, but it was incredibly problematic. There's a relationship in this that's kind of forced by the friends because the girl kind of overhears her friend saying that like the boy is near suicidal because of the way she treats him. And so she starts treating him differently and then sees him as a love interest after realizing that her actions are making him near suicidal, which is not why you should ever be with somebody. And I just felt like mental health and...
Why did I say it was okay and then proceed to tell you all the ways in which it was horrible? Like, what about 5 year ago Julie was just like, you know what? Can't offend anybody. Don't want to say anything bad about a book. So I'm just going to say I liked it or it was okay, and then tell you all the reasons why it definitely was not. No, that was an okay choice.
Suicide was used as a plot device and as like, it really left a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't like it. I'm not gonna read it again. I'm also getting rid of The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. This one is, I think, annotated. Yeah, like this one's annotated a lot. Like I wrote in this one a whole bunch. So if anybody is interested in this book and you're like, hey, I'd really like to know your annotated thoughts, hit me up. My email's listed down below and we can discuss, I don't know, maybe you can pay shipping and I'll just get it to you or something. Who knows? But I don't need this anymore. I read it. It was a 3-star read. It was fine, but it was not my favorite. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And then I'm going to be getting rid of And I Darken by Kirsten.
Both of these, totally fine to get rid of. Absolutely nobody ever contacted me about that book, so it's fine. That one went. This is actually a really cool library binding. I don't think that was the normal binding to have it like actually on the hardcover. And I didn't read that physically. I read the audiobook. I'm pretty sure I read the first and the second book. But, and I don't know what I'm going to say about it here. It was not a series for me. It took like actual real life situations that happened and fictionalized them, which is fine, except there was like the character side of the story and then the villains side of the story, kind of, or the people that they were fighting against side of the story. And from a history standpoint, my direct family and lineage was on the bad guy side. And no part of me wanted to see that villainized and or watch the like attacks that kind of took place on them. So I decided, prob's just not for me. So
White, which is this really cool library binding. So there is no like dust jacket. This is just like the hard cover. I really liked this first book, but I recently listened to the second book, which I mentioned in the end of August vlog. I read the second book and I really didn't care for it, and I'm not going to continue with the series. It's just something that I'm over. But I listened to this audiobook, liked it enough that I bought this on Book Outlet, and then I don't think I want to finish it, the series, and I don't think that I need to keep this one on my shelf then, and it's big, so I can make some room. Then I'm getting rid of George Orwell's 1984 because it's this was another one that was in that TBR jar pick where I tried to read it and I can't. I physically cannot read this. This entirety of this page is a paragraph from this break on. That's one paragraph. I can't. This page is an entire paragraph down to here. This page is an entire.
I don't understand how this doesn't bother more people, quite frankly. I don't know if it's just a me thing. Let me know in a comment down below if you feel similarly, but this is why I genuinely could not get into, in any kind of positive way, Uprooted. It's why I had to get rid of this one. I tried reading it. I don't even think I got like a solid chapter into this book. I was like, this is not something I can do. This is not an okay formatting option. It just isn't. I will never understand it. I cannot imagine a world in which a book is published in that format and I enjoy it. So I regret nothing.
Entire paragraph. It's the kind of formatting that you see a lot in one big paragraph, one paragraph break right there. It's kind of what Uprooted looked like to me, and I literally cannot read this. It would cause me such anxiety, and it's just one of my things in books where like formatting like this, I cannot tolerate. I feel like I understand the premise of the book. I get it. I'll read the cliff notes. I'll listen to the audiobook maybe, but probably freaking not. I'm not going to ever read that. I'm going to get rid of A Crest of Twilight by Laurel K. Hamilton. This is the second of the Mary Gentry series, which I do like. It's like a fae-based sexy time urban fantasy, but I don't own the first one. I think it's on my Nook, and I got this one mass market, and I just don't need to keep it, so I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm also going to be getting rid of Dusk.
Okay, so I don't necessarily regret that because it's definitely not going to be a series I collect all of. I do have the Kim Harrison, Rachel Morgan series in all mass market paperback. They're the only mass market paperbacks that I kept. And I do want to continue eventually, maybe in that Laurel K. Hamilton, that specific Laurel K. Hamilton series. I got rid of, or I stopped reading her Anita Blake, but I'm not interested in that series. But again, I wasn't going to keep one book when I don't own the others. And I also unhauled this in the last video, so I don't need to discuss this one.
Or Dawn, Dusk or Dark or Dawn or Day by Shauna McGuire. This is like about a girl who's a spirit but she gets to stay on Earth. It wasn't great. It was Sean McGuire, so I love it, but I'm never going to look at this again. So that's going to go. And then I'm getting rid of like 3 super random things, which I think I might actually just take to the kids that I nanny for now, but I'm not going to keep them. And these are mandala coloring book, Mendy coloring book, and another Mendy coloring book. They're gorgeous. They give you some like inspiration and then some pages, and they're very, very pretty. I appreciate them, but I can't even tell you. I think I got these on Book Outlet for like a couple bucks, and they're gorgeous, but I have a whole collection of coloring books and I never used these. So there's other ones that I have some stuff colored in where I'll keep those, but these 3 were kind of taking up more room that I don't need to allocate to coloring books. So they're gonna go. And I think that's everything. I feel better.
I miss this like eyeshadow look. I need to do that again. That's neither here nor there, is it, friends? Those coloring books did actually go to the kids at I-94, and they did love them. And we did them on many a rain day. Those were all great life choices. But 2 of those books still existed there after an unhaul in April. So hopefully that does not continue in further videos. And those books actually went somewhere between this video that I filmed in the past and the next one. But let me know your thoughts as we get to books that are a little bit more popular and read. Would you have debated any of these, tried to talk me into keeping any of these? Any of these your favorites? Leave me a little thumbs up emoji if you think I did a good job. I'm definitely okay with all of these. I'm not upset. I am going to continue with the series. I have at least 20 unhaul videos, and this is only number 6 of my reactions. So stay tuned for more of these. There will be other content also mixed in with these, so it won't only be this, but for right now, that is everything. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one to see if I made mistakes. But that's it for now. Bye, friends.